Greetings, ladies and germs of planet Earth and beyond. King Zero Phoenix has returned, and welcome back to Subnautica. I'm sure most of you who play this game already have noticed there's no little update window right here at the start, which means this game is getting that much closer to completion. I can hardly wait. Also, I believe I'm not sure if I mentioned this or not, but I thought I'd alternate between my regular voice and my deep voice when playing this particular game. Honestly, I think the deep voice suits me a little better. It's a little sinister, don't you think? Anyhow, I believe last time we left off we had just reached landfall on the floating island. And we learned that unfortunately the Aurora's captain and second in command were not fortunate enough to make it during planetfall. But I'm sure we've noticed on this island there seems to be other things here. We'll finally get into the multi-purpose room, the indoor and exterior grow beds, which is something I'm definitely going to need to build my base. With this I can make the base I've always wanted. Now this is where I'm a little on the fence about something. I think I've mentioned this before. Sorry, that's rude. I just ate before I did this, that's why. When I play the game in creative mode, I usually construct a little zoo for the hatchable creatures in the game. All the creatures with eggs, like reefbacks, spadefish, even now the cuttlefish has its own egg has been finally implemented. That problem is that takes up a lot of memory in the game, and I'm not debating whether I should try it here. I'd ask for your opinions, but honestly, I do want your opinion. And I'd ask if you think I should. Put it in the comments below if I should build, I like to mess around and call it the zoo. But the only reason I do with the 16 egg species is because, aside from that, there's also the original, the peeper, the oculus, and all the other fish that I actually can eat. And there's still a bunch of other creatures that haven't been completely implemented yet. Well, not implemented, that don't have eggs, like the crimson ray. I just need some other opinions on this. Look, I think that came from the sea moth. Pardon me, my phone's almost dead. Useless piece of junk. I am long overdue for an upgrade. This thing just doesn't want to hold a charge anymore. Stay. Apologies if you see me looking around too much. I have got way too much crap in my room. I'm definitely gonna need my own place soon enough. It's not gonna be easy for me because this room you're seeing right now, here we are. I've basically lived in this room since I was an infant. Oh, that's right. One other thing I just wanna... There we go. Personally, I just like that blue. Yep, still definitely infected. Isn't there an exit point around here? Oh, wait, there it is. The reason I got the knife, there may be something less than friendly on this island waiting for me, and I'd rather be prepared. The alternate beach. Ah, a bulbo tree. The water I can get from that thing should keep me hydrated. Bulbo tree. A bulb-based flora which roots to the ground and sprouts turquoise leaves. Analysis suggests the sap produced by this plant is poisonous to insects, but can be harvested and consumed by humans for its high water content. I like to have that in my room. A plant that with sap that's poisonous to insects sounds right up my alley. Feels nice to be able to stretch my legs out on real land. And they're just voxel shrub. A pink-leafed plant with an angular appearance which grows exclusively on land. I'm sorry, but how exactly does this look anything different than our tulips? Okay, and does anyone else think this grass looks like seaweed that grows on land? Unless I'm mistaken, this whole island used to be underwater, maybe? Until the floaters lifted it up. Whoa. Man, I can still see some. Water is so massive. Cannonball! Yeah. I was right, someone did live here before us. This must be the base of the Degassi crew and... Oh geez. Cave crawler. Agile territorial carrion feeder, well adapted to both land and sea. Gas exchange membrane absorbs essential gases from the air or water for basic bodily regulation. This species seeks out corpses. Ow! Attacks. Aya! Before defending its claim while the corpse is devoured. Inconvenient. That's one word. Convenient. Jaffa cup. Ow! Whoa, that one's infected. Yeah, get away from me. A common land fungus found in clusters grows. Ouch! Nuclear size is limited only by available nutrients in space. Hey, not this time. A brittle land plant containing. Ow! Dang it, these things are worse than piranhas. A plant containing large spores which generate a characteristic rattle when the plant is shaken. This may act to ward off predators or even encourage predation as a means of spreading the spores. Convenient is an understatement. They're freaking annoying. Yeah, that one's infected with the Carrara bacterium. Rub basket. An orange-colored land plant which usually contains a thick, protein-rich sludge at its base. This may suggest a carnivorous life cycle wherein grubs and insects are attracted to the bright petals, make their way to the center of the plant but are unable to scale back up the slick inner leaves and are ultimately how's that any different than our Venus flytraps and our pitcher plants? I use the exact same methods. I have no use for it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't this whole area look prime real estate for a sea beast or a leviathan? Look, these leaves are even bioluminescent. And mind you, Pandora, anybody? Ooh, pink cap. A land-based fungus species with harvestable spores. Yeah, these are the one kind of mushrooms I don't think anyone would want to eat. Strange, I hear birds, but I don't see any. Running away. Get away from me, get away from me, get away from me, get away from me. Can't come past this point, huh? Yeah, losers. Ming plant. A hardy specimen which grows on land. The base-like trunk protects the root system from predation and self-repairs over time, explaining the characteristic cracks on the side. Looks nothing more than a base. That's right. Sorry, I keep trying to check to the UI. I can't remember if I've been back there or not. A lantern tree. A conglomeration of individual vines which rely on one another for structural support. Grows exclusively on fertile land. Each vine produces orange, lantern-shaped fruits with minimal nutrition and hydration value. Edible in an emergency. That should keep me full for a while. Okay, if you don't mind, I got some cave claws to kill. Ah! Death. Doesn't that gas membrane look like an eyeball? I still hear rocks. I see you. Ow! This carbon-based device is lighter than it looks, and features a symbol which resembles a U. It lit up in purple. Despite the onboard power still functioning, algae growth on the exterior indicates it was abandoned hundreds, perhaps thousands of years ago. While the technology is far beyond Federation levels, and there is no obvious way to interface with it, it should nonetheless be possible to fabricate a precise physical copy of the device if necessary. Whoa. This is going to come in handy later. Interior planters come in a variety of configurations and allow for most plant species to be grown in small numbers for decorative or botanical use. Oh, yes.
New blueprint acquired. Integrating new PDA data.
Exterior grow bed. Advanced synthetic soils allow this grow bed to support a huge variety and quantity of alien plant life, and they can be installed anywhere on land or underwater where there is space. Spotlighting. A permanent lighting solution developed for installation on existing habitats facilities. Automatically rotates on a 180-degree arch. Motion sensitive will track nearby moving objects. Draws electricity from main power. Chinese potato. The Chinese potato is common throughout the China territories where synthetic foods are still stigmatized and there remain large tracts of arable land on which to grow fresh produce. Genetically designed prior to the expansion, this plant is highly adaptable to different environments and a staple of new colonies galaxy-wide. The marble melon. This plant collects water from the air rather than relying on its root system and produces large, fleshy fruits which are both edible and have a typically high water content. Basically, they're good to eat. I don't keep. I wonder if they're like Earth watermelons. Honestly, personally, I really couldn't care less about watermelon. I mean, I'd eat it, but I won't. I honestly, yeah, don't care for it. Sometimes think, what? But he's African. But he's black. Don't black people love watermelon? Hey, that's a stereotype. The stasis rifle. The stasis rifle uses patented technology to slow time around an entity to as near to a full stop as the laws of physics will permit. It is designed to facilitate scientific and engineering operations by expanding the window of opportunity for action in time-sensitive scenarios. The stasis rifle features an independent replaceable power cell, and the trigger may be held down to increase the area of effect and duration. Common applications include slowing fast-moving mechanisms such as fan belts to facilitate maintenance operations, pausing the biological processes of organisms for closer study, navigating perilous spaces by freezing potential threats. The Altera stasis flies fast, why not put it on pause? Yeah. Anyhow, I think this might be the answer to how I may scan a Reaper, if I dare. This data box is already opened. Must have been something I already got. Paul Torvalds. Yep. Number 1. Sheeslog, 5 weeks since our ship was shot out of the air. Fate spared my son Bart and I, but also burdened us with the presence of a cut-price mercenary with local expertise named of Mida.
Survivor, you have exceeded your weekly exercise quotient by 500%. Data indicates that swimming was your favorite activity. Be sure to vary your routine for uniform muscle development.
Duly noted.
New blueprint acquired.
Name of Mida, who I reluctantly commissioned for this voyage. The 3 of us spent days in the life pod, rain hammering the roof, ocean on the horizon, then the weather cleared and we saw this floating oasis. We were saved. We salvaged the gassy wreck to build this habitat. I set work to studying the indigenous plant life, finding us a stable source of food. That expensive education of his is paying dividends sooner than I expected. Our only problem is Mida. She claims the island's too small to support us all indefinitely. Says the weather's going to turn. I say she's finding excuses to risk our lives. She's likely never gone more than a week without a physical altercation, and she's itching for a fight. Every judgment she makes assumes things go from bad to worse. If she had my experience, she'd see that humans have spent millennia shackling nature to our will. This planet won't cause any new problems. Our one task now is to stay alive as comfortably as possible until the insurance company arranges rescue. In this part of space, that could be months. Shackling nature to our will? I wouldn't call it shackling as more as guiding it. Sweet, a battery. Humans may be able to bend nature to our will to a certain degree, but if we do it too much, nature has a way of biting back. And boy, she does not pull her punches. Anyhow, and technically, Paul. Oh, I have to agree with her there. Things often do tend to go worse before they get better. To think otherwise is just foolishness or naivety. Sure, you may have wisdom on your side. May have had wisdom on your side, old man, but she's done things you probably have never had to do.
Signal location uploaded to PDA. Integrating new PDA data.
The Degassi. That's the habitat. But what do you know? Now they have signals for that too. They never had that before. That actually makes the find it seem less of a part of the game or plan instead of just looking ahead of time. Problem is, I need a pressure compensator for the sea moth to get down that deep. And I know I'm going to find one on the Aurora. Problem is, I have no intention of going there just yet until I build a moon pole, as well as the perimeter defense system, because I'm not 100% positive I'll encounter a Reaper near the beach. But, like I said, I prefer to be safe rather than sorry. The strength on those mandibles. remnants of their old farm. I'm just going to leave these here because I plan on harvesting these seeds from my own grow bed soon. If I remember correctly, there should be a cave opening that leads to the teleporter on this island. And truth be told, it's my belief that we really shouldn't be trying to bend nature to our will, like we can just force it to do whatever we want, just because we can. Rather than force nature to agree with us, we should be trying to work with nature rather than against it. Aha! After all, technically, we humans are part of nature, even though we don't seem to really act like it anymore. Nature is a beautiful thing, and we have to remember how to respect it, not just do whatever we want to think we can get away with it just because we can. This structure's intended purpose is unclear, and active power lines running from the nearby terminal suggest it could be switched on if connected to the right kind of energy source. Ceremonial, religious role, industrial applications, advanced transportation. Yep, it's a teleporter. And unless I'm mistaken, this leads to the island of the quarantine enforcement platform. But since there's nothing here, I can't power it from here. It has to be powered from its other end. Still, though, I love the designs that the developers made for these. Where exactly do people come up with the ideas to design tech like this? Should they just come up with random things and just draw it different weirdly to make it look alien, or... I wonder who exactly gave them the name Precursor. I got nothing against the name, it's just every time I hear the word Precursor, it makes me think of the old Jack and Daxter series. Because don't forget, that's what they were called, the Precursors. No one even remembers Jack and Daxter. Among the first game I ever played, Jack and Daxter: The Precursor Legacy was the very first game I ever played for the PlayStation. And I still have it to this day, though I recently upgraded it to PS Vita with the Jack and Daxter collection. I still have yet to get all the cheap trophies of Jack 2, but I'm getting there. The only one I haven't got is all the Precursor awards. You know what? I'm starting to ramble. Let's see what happened up here. I think I've mentioned this before, but I just love having a home like this on top of a mountain, just overseeing everything as a guardian, not as a ruler, but like I said, a guardian. Wow. I'm not even as high as the Aurora, though. I am king of the world! Okay, have my fun. Ooh, water.
New PDA data.
Interior grow bed.
New blueprint acquired.
Fern palm. This specimen was first identified at an artificial grow bed on the island. Pardon me, my nose is dripping. It is not listed in existing flora databases, so it is unclear whether or not it is native to this planet. Genetic code shares some features with other local plant life, but this may be the result of DNA transfusion rather than natural evolution. Never mind. You think the transfusion has been completely implemented yet? I hope so, because I think that I may be wrong, but it may be essential in trying to create the serum that can Get us out of here. Alright. I got these already. The Seaglide is a personal transportation device. 36 kilometers an hour. Keep fingers clear. Well, duh. Anything that moves faster underwater is probably trying to... So true! The Seamoth is a one-person vehicle with an independent replaceable power cell fitted in the rear and a fully customizable design. Low-power multi-directional thrusters enable it to function equally well in sea or space environments. Most long-range vessels carry at least 2 vehicles of this class to facilitate the exploration and exploitation of small astronomical bodies. However, they can also be fabricated at a standard mobile vehicle bay. 13 meters per second, 5 meters per second, distance per power cell, 10 kilometers. I can only get 10 kilometers out of a single power cell? Not that bad. Crushed at 200 meters below sea level. Upgrade module slots 3 meters by 1.5 meters plus. Seamoths may be modified by installing upgrade modules to the access point mounted on the wing. These include increased cargo storage, superior power, pressure and collision compensation, and enhanced sonar defense. These modules may only be manufactured at a moon pool outfitted with a vehicle modification station. The Seamoth, it goes anywhere but land. The first rule of survival in this environment is to work with the resources. It's 800 degrees outside and you're in danger of burning to death at any moment. You may look. Convert heat engine to electricity. Always take thermometer readings before attempting installation. Core mechanism that has consistent chassis, but the therm gets hot. Oh, I like the design of the bioreactor they have now. Sometimes organic matter is plentiful, but sunlight is not the reliable one. Totally organic. Not anymore, it isn't. The batteries became the moon pool. High power consumption. It's just weird. That was nothing, just an earthquake alert. Oh, I'm thirsty. Yuck. Yeah, I can't. I gotta stop or I'm gonna be here all day. I think there's only one more and I can get off the island. If you don't mind, I'd like to read the logs and the life logs from the Legacy in order, if you don't mind. It just feels natural to me. Because reading them out of order just feels like I'm missing something. Ah, this is where the rock slide happened. Oh, great. That'd have been messy. Alley-oop. Where's that sound coming from? Just checking this way because I thought, if memory serves me right, there was a data pad around this way. Was that somewhere else? Yep, somewhere else. How's this for exercise? Hey! And by the way the rocks are crumbling, I guess this island isn't going to stay afloat much longer. I wonder, these caves don't look like they were carved out naturally. Maybe they were, maybe they are. Honestly, I couldn't tell. Composite plant pot.
New blueprint acquired.
I'm hungry. Here we go. Habitation location. Well, this island is the best thing that could have happened to us. Look out that window. No predators, fresh food, no building materials, nothing left for the ship, and the kid says we're gonna starve without more grill beds. Speak up, kid. It's true, Father. The natural growth rates are too slow to keep supporting us. All I'm saying is, the ocean's got us surrounded. No use hiding. Sooner or later, we're gonna get our feet wet. The rest of your life may have been a fight, Maida, but I've made my decision. You want to forfeit your emergency pay just to take a swim? Go right ahead. Believe me, I'm thinking on it. See, truth be told, this is the danger of having more than one people in a survival situation. Ideals start to clash, and survival is no longer the main point. Everyone wants to be right and wants to do everything their way. Son, I said no. Wait for the storm to pass. What's one vegetable patch compared to our safety? You stopped being in charge when the ship you were captaining sunk. I'll stop being in charge when you take charge of yourself. Say, Chief, what? Do you know how to drain those grow beds out there of 40 tons of stormwater, or how to conjure food from the air? Don't get clever, Maida. You're too old to change old habits. I'm just saying, what's your boy's life worth to you today if tomorrow you're going to be so hungry you start wondering what he tastes like? Let him go deal with the plants. Son, go deal with the plants. Bart Torgal has disembarked the habitat. Interfere with my family again, and when rescue arrives, I will leave you here. Do you understand me? No rescue coming, Chief. Not in time, and no staying here neither. This rain keeps falling. Sooner or later, this place will be buried. Only choice we've got is whether to get buried with it. Dark, but she's got the right attitude. You see, Chief, you brought us to the Sun planet. Told us we'd see you lush payday. Now what do we got? Some 6 weeks later. Crew's dead, front room's half buried, food washed away. I suppose the executive decisions would be better left to someone with your extensive experience of hitting people in the face. I know enough not to take unscheduled detours to uncharted planets. That's something we didn't need to learn the hard way. Easy to judge my decisions in hindsight. Harder to come up with a plan of your own. Already got one. We take what we can carry and hunker down in a cave somewhere. Fortify. I scouted a site, a couple 100 meters deep, lots of metal deposits. How do you imagine we'd live? With ready access to building materials? Like damn queens. A couple of water filters, a bioreactor, fresh fish. But Chief, we'll eat seaweed salad and drink our own piss if that's what it takes. All that matters is, have you got something better? Send the coordinates to my PDA. I'll review your proposal. Drinking your own piss. I know technically in emergencies that people say if you're dehydrated. Honestly, I just don't see how I could ever do that. I mean, seriously, you're willingly drinking your own urine? Ugh. Guess I've got the reinforced dive suit now. I don't have the ingredients for the still suit, but I'll find that soon enough. Stasis rifle, the propulsion cannon, front suit, ultra high capacity tank, the hardened blade. Wait, I thought they got rid of this. Grappling arm, the side-class fire suppression system. Now I've got the multi-purpose room, the moon pool, the observatory, thermal plant, spotlight, exterior grow bed, bulkhead. I've got almost everything I need to be able to survive now. Finally done what I came here to do. Time to put some of that titanium to use and start building my new base. Gotta be careful here because now fall damage is a thing. Whoa. Natural bioluminescence. I'll come back to those plants. Easy. Cannonball. Ow, ow, dang it, messed up.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
All right. Back home. Ugh. Let's see, where am I right now? The Sparse Reef. I forget the ocean gets so dark during the night. creepy. Feels like anything could lunge at me at any second. Alright, back at the grassy plateau. No, wait, this is the creepvine forest. Ugh. Rubbish. Whoa! Thirsty. Here it is. And now that I finally have the blueprints, I can finally begin construction of my base. Put these here. Patch myself up. This is all the titanium I have. Thought I had more than this. Oh well, not like I don't know how to get more. Good thing I didn't scan into the other fragments here, if there are any. Yep. Spare titanium. A stasis rifle fragment. How'd I miss that?
New blueprint acquired.
Oh great, I think the sun's coming up. One quick breath. Whoa! They even updated this too. Wow! Scrap metal. Gather as much as I can carry and start from there. There's some down there, though I don't feel like getting roasted just yet. I thought I scanned these already. I was just thinking of my other game. Oh, beautiful scrap metal. Excellent. That's more than enough titanium to get me started. Titanium. Here we go. Now, look. I don't really need to take you. Oh, that's cool. I can turn the lane. This has been long overdue. Excellent.
It may be prudent to separate work and leisure spaces to maximize productivity. Treat this space as your home, but never forget that it is not.
Duly noted. Four, 8, 11. With that, I'm out of titanium. That being said, I finally have the means to make my base now. It's coming along nicely. I plan on stacking this all the way to the surface. That way I can get some solar panels up there to start powering it. Alrighty, with that in mind, this episode's starting to drag on. Whoa! So I'm afraid I'm gonna have to stop here before I get too carried away. Thank you everybody so much for joining me on this little adventure. Click the like button to let me know you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're interested in seeing more, and share your opinions with me down in the comments below. And until next time, this is King Zero Phoenix signing off. Laters!